It's Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month. Beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. Gnome of the Month, Gnome of the Month. So today is our Gnome of the Month video. Normally I do this on the last Saturday of the month, but it's also just, pending what's going on that month. And this Saturday of the month, last Saturday of the month, I was busy. So I was like, you know what, we'll just do it on the last day of the month. If you haven't seen it already, I did post my vlog from my little family time together, our little family vacation. It was so fun. It was so awesome. I needed a couple of days to recharge and, reset after that because I was feeling it. It was, I pushed myself really hard because I really wanted to just enjoy every single second. So I needed a couple of days afterwards because, all of my spoons, I had thrown all of my spoons out the window. If you know what spoons are, it's basically a form of like measuring how much energy you have to do things. And I had used up every single one of those spoons. So if you wanted to see pictures and stuff, I do have that video up. And then I also included in that video Junie, my niece, in her romper. You guys might remember I made a romper for her, I want to say last month, and I went through like a whole little thing of trying to size it right. It was still too big. I had a feeling that was going to happen, but I would have rather erred on the side of it being too big than too small was my thought process. We kind of pinned it back with a like hair clip in the back, which actually looked super cute because it like matches. And the funny thing is my sister brought like several different ones of these cute little bows, and several of her outfits had to get pinned back there like that because she has like little narrow shoulders, and a lot of her outfits don't like to stay on her shoulders. So okay, it wasn't just me, it's also just like a sizing issue in general, I guess, at that age range. But the upside is that will probably fit her for at least another year because it was, a little oversized for sure. And it will fit differently as time goes on. But honestly, I think it'll probably fit her for a couple of years in a different way. So, hey, it's the gift that keeps on giving. We're saying maybe we'll make it like an annual thing to take a picture during, like our little vacation in the summertime of her wearing the romper. So if it continues to fit, maybe we will get to have, I love things like that, little traditions. Anyways, so on to today's topic. Today is Gnome of the Month. If you have never been here for Gnome of the Month, welcome to my channel. You are probably new. Welcome to my cozy little corner of YouTube. I hope you find it to be the comfiest, coziest, most welcoming corner. We are extremely open and welcoming here. I am never going to judge you. I would hope nobody in this community will ever judge you. We are very accepting and, none of that negativity or prejudice crap or anything like that is welcome in my cozy little corner. So you will never find that type of thing here. If that type of thing crops up, they won't be here for more than 2 seconds it takes me to read that comment. So thankfully though, I really don't have that problem. This is just naturally a very accepting and loving and caring little community that I have built here, and I am so, so grateful. Everybody, if you're watching this, I am so grateful for you. You are one of the people that make up this loving and accepting and just encouraging group of people that I call my friends. You guys are my best friends. You're my Gnomies. If you are a subscriber to my channel, you're a Gnomie, by the way, if you didn't know that. It's my like little nickname type thing for my subscribers. And in the description box, while I'm talking about my Gnomies, I have listed the people who are members of my channel. So there's subscribers, which is free, and then there's members if you want to chip in a couple of bucks towards supporting the channel every month, then you can become a member and you get the supportive Gnomie title. And I do list you in the description box if you do that. I list you by name of whatever name it shows for you subscribing. So whatever you have put in for it. I'm not sure if it's your YouTube name or how that works, but that's what I list you as in there. And I really, really appreciate everybody who's a subscriber. And of course, I really, really appreciate everybody who goes that little extra bit to be a supportive Gnomie. That really helps. And I just wanted to shout that out. I want to make sure that you guys are getting your big thank you, because you definitely deserve it. So anyways, off topic or on tangents today. If you are new here, you probably haven't been here for a Gnome of the Month before, or that would probably be why you haven't been here for a Gnome of the Month. So what I do for Gnome of the Month is I come on the last Saturday of the month and I show you guys whatever gnome I made. Now, I also share with you guys whatever gnomes you have made for Gnome of the Month. It is very much a community project, or, you know, community little make-along type situation. So it's not just about my gnomes, it's about everybody's gnomes. And it is so fun because we get such a variety. Like, everybody has a different interpretation of what a gnome is, or they have a different idea for a theme that month. I especially love it when it's around holidays and we get like a bunch of really fun themed gnomes. I love themed gnomes. There have been like cool themed gnomes for like fandoms too, you know, like maybe after a video game or a movie, character type of inspired gnomes, which is just so cool. I've done some like that also. So it's just really fun to see what everybody comes up with. We get everything from, you know, I've like, just to list a few that I've done like a fisherman gnome. I've done like spring floral themed gnomes. I've done quite a few of that sort of vibe. I've done a Santa gnome. I've done a witch gnome. I've done a mermaid gnome. I've done a Mario and a Luigi gnome. Like, just, you can do anything. The sky is the limit. And gnomify it. So a lot of times I will do a tutorial, like crochet along, you know, for a week, like every day that week. For like 4 or 5 days, I'll put out a tutorial doing a part of the gnome. So like, say, okay, today we're gonna make the hat. Today we're gonna make the body. Today we're gonna make the arms and the nose, or whatever. And I do have a playlist for that, which I will link in the description box. If I remember, I'll also pop it at the end of the video as one of the things that pops up at the end of this video. But that is where I have a playlist for my gnome tutorials. I also have a playlist for Gnome of the Month videos. So if you want to go and binge watch those and kind of have some gnomey fun, see all the gnomes that I'm kind of talking about and stuff, and see some of the really cool gnomes that you guys have sent in over time, because I have done Gnome of the Month a lot, then you can see that there in the Gnome of the Month playlist. So I come on the last Saturday, I show you whatever I've been up to. If I did do a tutorial, you'll see the gnome that I did the tutorial on, which, you know, kind of spoilered already because you saw it in the tutorial, but that's okay. Sometimes I'll make more than one gnome, sometimes I'll make one. The cool thing also about this is you do not have to crochet a gnome. So you can be part of this community, part of the Gnome of the Month, and not even be a crocheter. Or you can be a crocheter who's experimenting with other crafts, because let's be honest, most of us crocheters are chronic crafters, not just crocheters. So if you make a gnome in any way, shape, or form, that counts. You can send that in. Send in pictures to my email. It is novagnomecreations@gmail.com. And then in the subject line, just put Gnome of the Month. You can send those at any time, any day, any time of day, whatever. I will leave them. I usually don't open those types of emails until I go to make my video. I will leave them until the end of the month. I will get in there and I will search all the Gnome of the Month emails, and I will put yours into my video. So you get your featured spotlight moment. Make sure you let me know what name to credit you as. It can be your like legal birth name. It can be your first name. It could be your first and last, or first and last initial. It can also be an alias that you go by. So if you go by a nickname or a YouTube name, or if you'd like me to credit you for your YouTube channel, just let me know that type of stuff in the email. It makes it a lot less stressful for me and for you, because then you're credited the way you want to be credited as, and I'm not trying to put together a video with potentially a lot of people, because sometimes these do get a lot of submissions, and trying to remember what everybody's preferred names are and everything. It's just easier for me to go, oh, right, that's Heidi B. She goes by Heidi B instead of just Heidi, because there's a lot of Heidis. Or, oh, I don't know, that's Amy from Hooked on Wishing Crochet. She goes by Amy from Hooked on Wishing Crochet, so that people know what YouTube channel she has. Whatever. Honestly, if you've been around quite a bit on my channel, I probably know it, but it's just easier. It is just so much less stressful if you also let me know in your email. Even if you're like, you already know who I am and what I go by, just pop it in there. It just makes it less stressful. Also, that's how you join in. Like I said, you do not have to crochet, so you can make cross stitch, you can knit, you can do it with clay, you could sculpt it, you could you know, do like cute little clay thing. Oh, I actually have 2 Gnomes of the Month to show you guys. I forgot about my clay one, which you might have seen a sneak peek of in yesterday's video. I'll pop up pictures of that one because I have not unpacked it yet. I have not unpacked everything from the vacation. So anyway, about it, clay, sewing, quilting, literally anything crafty. You drew it, you did, oh gosh, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? Digital design, anything. If you made it, it counts. So if you're just like, does this count? Did you make it? It counts. Also, I have had people send in like, oh, my brother made this or something. That's totally cool too. Just be like, hey, this is so-and-so's brother, and they made this really cool gnome that they wanted to share. Anyways, that is what Gnome of the Month is, and I made a funny little gnome this month. I realized I had never made a baby gnome. So I made a little baby gnome. Are you guys ready to see it? Okay, guys, I'm back. I received one Ozifer, which is Ozzy. This is my cat. Well, one of them. He is my cuddliest cat because he was hand raised. I don't know if you guys have been around for a little bit. If you have seen him since he was a tiny little nugget. He was literally like maybe 4 weeks old when we got him. He was abandoned in a graveyard. Him and his litter mates were dumped in a graveyard, and our friend actually saw it happen and got them and was trying to find people to take them, like trying to find homes for them, which is why he got rehomed so young. But we took one, even though, you know, we weren't necessarily looking, but we had to. And that was last year. That's probably coming up on a year now. Crazy. Time goes by so fast. But yeah, he is super cuddly. I know I just completely got distracted. By the way, you guys see him flicking his tail around. He does that all the time. He is a very like tail active cat. One of the things that he does now is if he sees me standing near any surface, he jumps on me. So like if I'm go over to like my hubby and he's sitting in his chair, he will just like run up my body basically and just like flop down onto my chest or my shoulder. He doesn't use his claws, so it doesn't hurt, but I do have to react quickly, and sometimes he takes me by surprise because I have to catch him when he flops. And if I don't catch him when he flops, then I might get some claws. I've had that happen like 1 or 2 times, so I'm very like on top of if he looks like he's going to climb me. But just sometimes he is so fast and I don't even know he's there. And so that's how a few times I have been caught off guard. But one of his favorite things to do is when I go to the bathroom, he loves to run in there. He loves to go wherever I'm at, to be honest, but he loves to run in there. He'll get on the counter, and then he'll either climb onto like my shoulders while I'm using the bathroom, or the second I get up, he climbs up me and like flops. And like what he does is he like stands and stretches up me, and then I basically just scoop him up. Or if I don't scoop him up, sometimes he'll just jump up, and like I said, he either lays like up my torso, on my chest, or on my shoulder. It's so cute. I honestly love it. It's like a hug. He is a very huggy cat. Also, he is that type of cat that will let you do whatever you want. Like I kiss on him, I squish on him and love on him. I absolutely love it. Oh, and he flops. He is a very, very floppy cat. What I would consider orange cat behavior, like, you know, just the very floppy, like little weirdo, dorky kitty, and that is him. And he has this really pretty nose. Let me see if I can turn his head. He's got this little pretty nose. He's got like a wide bridge to his nose, and I think it makes him look like a lion. You look like a little lion. Yeah, he's very pretty. Anyways, on to the gnome. I just thought I would have to show you guys an update on Ozzy. Then he goes by Ozzy, Ozifer, Oziferus, Oziphorius, Oziphorius Rex. I call him that when he's being, especially on his BS, on his bull poop, if you don't know what BS means. When he's being crazy, I call him Oziphorius Rex. But his name, like his actual name, is Osiris, which he also does get called, especially if he's being bad. We're like, Osiris. Anyways, okay, on to the gnome. So this is my baby gnome. It is so funky and hilarious to me. It's really squishy and soft. I made it out of bloom chenille for the body. This bloom chenille yarn just spoke to me. I used literally every single like last scrap. I think I used every single last scrap of the pink also. I used every single last scrap down to the last inch of the blue one, because I got a blue one and a pink one as part of the premiere sale. I loved it. Like, it just spoke to me. It inspired me to like make stuff with it immediately. And I just knew I had to make a baby gnome with it. So, I weighted its butt. So it's got like a weighted plushy kind of feel to it, which I love. I did the bloom chenille, and then I just used a bulky yarn, like a chunky bulky yarn for the arms and legs. And I did little bobble stitches because I just thought that that was perfect for like the baby vibe of it. I used some blanket yarn for the hat. I made like a little bonnet. And then I used Parfait Chunky for the skin tone. And then this is a double-stranded. This is double-stranded of like a white sparkly fuzzy yarn, furry yarn. And like a regular, I think regular sparkly yarn. And I know I've got like my overhead light on, so it's really bright. Let me hold it back here so you guys can like get the vibe a little more. I have made a Cupid gnome, which was a request by hubby for Valentine's Day last year, the year before last. But I had never made like a straight up baby gnome. Like the Cupid gnome had like a diaper and stuff, which you absolutely need to go watch that video if you haven't seen the Cupid gnome of the month. It'll be in the gnome of the month playlist. But I hadn't made like an actual baby gnome, so now I've got squishy little chenille and Parfait Chunky like blanket yarn, like all that good stuff. Here you go, Ozzy. You want it? You want a baby gnome? You want a baby gnome? So anyways, that is my crocheted gnome. I also have a gnome that I made on a mug. So if you watched my vacation vlog video, you'll see that we played with polymer clay for the first time. We had never done polymer clay before. We had done epoxy clay several times, making these like little trash houses, which I actually have made videos on the YouTube channel about those as well, where you basically just come up with like you use like recycled things, like pieces of plastic and, you know, whatever. And you like glue them all, like hot glue them all together to form shapes. You can stuff it with just like papers that you don't need anymore, whatever. Like they're literally like upcycling to the max. And then you take the epoxy clay and you build over it to form like basically a casing with these things as like the filler to form your shape. And what that does is makes it so you don't need so much clay, makes it so it's not so heavy. And then epoxy clay doesn't have to be baked or anything. It is like epoxy resin and clay. You like mix the two different types of materials together. They come in, it's like a two-part clay mix, basically. You mix them together and then you use them. And then you have to paint it because they are like one solid color. Well, epoxy clay polymer clay comes in tons of colors. So we had like a color palette of like, I don't know, like 55 different colors and, or something. I don't know. That might be like totally not the amount we had, but, we had like a whole bunch of colors for a color palette of just doing whatever we wanted. We made like 6 different mugs, I think. And if you want to see all the mugs we made, go watch yesterday's video, which is the vacation vlog. I did show all the mugs in there. But I'm going to show you guys my gnome mug that I made. Because of course I had to make a yarny gnome mug because if I'm making something, you know, customizable like that, I always have to make like a yarny gnome version. It's just a necessity. So I'm going to show you guys that, and then I will pop over to our spotlight montage, show you guys what gnomes you have been getting up to this month. I do have a couple of submissions, and don't forget, if you would like to be a Gnome of the Month next month, pop over your emails before the last Saturday of next month, and that will be August, and you will be included in that. And by the way, there is no limit on how many gnomes you can send in. So if you make 4 gnomes, you can send in 4 gnomes. I have not only is there no limit, I welcome it, okay? Don't feel bad. Don't be like, oh, sorry, I made so many gnomes. I feel like I can't send all these. If you made 4 gnomes, I am excited to see your 4 gnomes. I know the community is excited to see your 4 gnomes. So feel free to send them in. Like I said, if you made a bunch of them, send a bunch of them. If you made 1, send 1. And this is for all skill levels. So if you are making your very first gnome, we have had a lot of people make their very first gnome and send it in for Community Spotlight. I am cheering you on. I'm so excited if you're making your first gnome. I do have a super beginner friendly gnome tutorial, which is done crochet along style, like in parts. And I walk you through everything. So if you are wanting to make a gnome, but you've never even made amigurumi before and you're like, I can't do it, I literally have a tutorial specifically made for that circumstance. I literally tell you how to do everything in that video, like even how to do a single crochet. It's literally explained like to the point of insanity because I wanted it to be really beginner friendly, because a lot of times you see beginner friendly, but they mean beginner friendly like, but you already know how to make amigurumi, you've already made plushies or whatever. This is like, that tutorial is beginner friendly for anybody, okay? Even if you're not even that like experienced with crochet, like you can make this gnome. So that will be in the gnome tutorial playlist. There's also other ones in there. Halloween gnome is in there. Christmas gnome, like I said, Santa gnome. There is also a funny PP gnome in there. There's quite a few fun little things in there. So I will put that at the end of this video, and I hope you guys stay for the montage. Make sure you drop a kind comment saying something nice about the gnomes that people have sent in. If you've got a minute, you know, obviously if you're just watching and not commenting, that's totally fine. I understand. Sometimes that's just what you got to do. Sometimes you've got it playing on the TV. Sometimes you just don't have time or feel like commenting. I get it. But if you do have a second, say something positive about the gnomes that people have sent in. I will see you guys tomorrow for Freeform Friday. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Bye, guys.